Hello, fellow shrewd investors. How to diversify your portfolio these days, and all you need to know during a financial crisis. The stock market is in a very bad shape. Nobody can predict the future, but most estimates and most economic indicators point to a prolonged poor performance for the stock market, to say the least. But not all stocks are plunging, and the stock market is not the only way we can invest our hard earned money. For example, look at this stock. This is an infrastructure stock that has a very decent positive yield year to date in this crazy market. In this video, I will show you different ways of diversifying your portfolio during times of crisis in order to firstly preserve your wealth and secondly play the money game shrewdly and take the opportunity to grow your investment. If you haven't subscribed, push the subscribe button and like this video and turn on notification button if you want to be notified when the subsequent videos are uploaded. These three arrows on Nasdaq year-to-date chart are pretty much the summary of the stock market performance in 2022. Very disappointing, no? S&P 500 was not different. Year 2021 was not so much better either. As likely majority of you can relate, most portfolios have been destroyed much more severely than these indexes. I would like to introduce 4 different types of investments and briefly describe their pros and cons. I will explain the first two ones in this video and the second two options in the next video. So these types of investments are property market, gold market, cryptocurrencies, and the stock market. Buying a property arguably is one of the safest ways of preserving and growing your capital. The average price of a house has grown rapidly over the past years. If you can buy a house, an apartment, a piece of land, perhaps this is one of the safest investments you can do. While housing market has also its own downturn, it has historically been never as stark as that of the stock market. The rise of the prices have historically superseded the inflation rate and sometimes with a significant margin, suggesting a net growth in your capital. A few points are important to take care, however, especially during the financial crisis periods like the one we are in now. I will briefly mention 2 of the most important points that need careful attention. If you are interested, let me know in the comments section and I will do a whole video on this topic. The first one is to try to get the highest possible rate of fixed interest rate mortgage because the variable interest rate can spark strongly during these times. The second is that to be wary of new legislations as the governments might increase different tax rates depending on your country of residence and where your target property is located. But the bottom line is that if you can buy a property. It is no secret that Bill Gates has allocated a significant portion of his large capital to buying properties and lands. The second type of investment is gold. Many people might not be able to buy houses or properties simply. The prices in the housing market have already risen. Here is where the gold comes into the game. Gold has been used as a currency for thousands of years. In fact, gold was the support basis for United States dollar until Nixon made the infamous move to detach the dependency of US dollar to gold as its support. This is called Nixon shock, which ended the convertibility of the US dollar into gold and put an end to the Bretton Woods Agreement. This chart shows gold price since 1970. As you can see, the spot gold price has a striking yield of 5,115% growth from 1970 till now. So there is no argument that the yellow metal will not let you down. As you can see, there are also peaks and valleys in this chart. However, 2 important lessons are readily available on this chart. First, independent from these peaks and valleys, the overall trend has always been upward over the time. Second, and much more important in my opinion, is that if we look closely when the gold peaks and when it calms down, we see a clear pattern. With every economic crisis of any sort, it starts to peak and when the dusts are settled, it starts to calm down. For example, Look at the beginning of 1980, 2000, 2001 dot-com bubble, 2008 financial crisis, and much more recently 2020 COVID pandemic. There are two more daily cases for those who don't want to ignore. First, the time interval between consecutive crises gets shorter, and second, the calming down procedure doesn't take place fully. In another word, before the calming down process ends, next crisis has already started and is on the horizon, resulting in higher lows in the gold price chart. There are several ways of investing in gold. In this video, I will not go into details of different methods of investment in gold. I will focus on physical gold as the investment method. That is my preferred method. Gold comes in different shapes and forms, minted and in gold bars, from 1 gram to hundreds of grams or even a kilogram, and in different purities. There are also different coins depending on the country. For preservation and potential growth of the wealth, bars are preferred, and the higher the weight of a bar, the lower the buy and sell price spread. However, each weight has its own advantages and disadvantages, which is beyond the scope of this general video. If you want a separate video only about the gold, let me know in the comment section and I will do a whole video on it. I have two final points about gold investment. First, gold is not the only precious metal to invest. There are other precious metals such as silver, platinum, and palladium with their own peculiarities and dynamics that is beyond a single video. Second, do not underestimate the crisis we are heading towards and the potential value of the gold during the crisis. It is not for no reason that these chocolate-like gold bars are in the market from which every small piece can be broken easily. There are people who consider this as a potentially close future reality and are preparing themselves for this scenario. If an extreme economic crisis takes place, one can break every time a small chocolate-like bar from this and spend for their everyday expenses. Hope we will not face this situation where we are going to supermarket and we have to pay our everyday stuff with gold. But it is not completely unlikely given the financial crisis we might head toward. In this video, I talked about property and gold as investment options, and in the next video I will elaborate on cryptocurrencies and stock market investment during the times of crisis. In additional videos, I will go into further details of each type of investment. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question or topic you want that I cover. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Stay happy and wealthy until the next time.